Hello everyone, I'm Juanica, also known as Miss Astrology, bringing you this video because Mercury is going into the sign of Libra. As a matter of fact, Mercury's already in Libra. And I really felt like it was important to bring this video because Mercury is going to spend a long time in Libra. We have a Mercury retrograde starting at the end of the month, officially on September 26th. It will be in a retrograde motion until October 19th. And Mercury does not actually even move on to the sign of Scorpio until November 5th. So this is going to be a lot of energy. And if you are not aware and if you are not decisive, which can be one of Libra's challenges, and if you are not really ready and know how to base your decisions, this could be really stressful and be a time of anxiety or a time of not doing anything, which is also one of Libra's challenges. So I just want to give some insight to everyone so that we can have a really good Mercury in Libra season, Mercury retrograde, because we're coming up to, the next part of the year, and this is where transformation is really going to show up for us and elevation is really going to happen. So we're going to have to make some decisions, you guys, and it could be really hard, specifically with Mercury in Libra. So let me just give you some info. Let's start with Mercury because as far as I'm concerned in the astrology, the planets are where you always want to start. You want to understand their energy because they bring the energy into this. So when you think about Mercury, well, a couple things. Mercury is the planet that travels closest to the sun. It's always no further than 28 degrees from the sun. So it's either in the same sign as your sun sign, the one before or the one after, because Mercury is always close by. And this is perfectly makes sense in the astrology because Mercury represents your thoughts. And what are closer to you than your thoughts, right? Like that's the closest thing to us. So Mercury is the ruler of Gemini and Virgo. And so one way I like to kind of point this out is that when you think about how we receive information, which Mercury rules information, it's considered the messenger, the god of the messenger, the god of commerce. When you think about how we receive information, first we take it in our brain, right? This is Gemini. We receive it through reading it or hearing it or speaking it, this kind of Gemini way, being curious about something, we receive information. But then by the time we get to Virgo, we've decided what information does not work for us and what needs to go. And so this is really what we're dealing with in Virgo season. And now that Mercury, the messenger, the information has moved on to Libra, we may find ourselves having a hard time of letting things go. So Mercury does prefer air signs, so this is why this is a little bit tricky. Remember, it rules Gemini, so it does enjoy being in air signs and earth signs as well, but this is where this can get a little bit tricky. Libra is an air sign, but Libra can be indecisive, but we'll talk about that in just a second. So this, when I say that, I mean that, it can really be difficult for Mercury to decipher and make decisions because Libra is the duality and they can see both sides of information. So let's first talk about the energy that Mercury brings. So Mercury is the messenger. It is information, communication, our memory, our intellect. It's how we speak, how we write, how we memorize, how we assimilate and take in information. It could be gossipy. It could be a trickster. You think about Mercury rules commerce. It also rules our day-to-day travels, our daily routines. And, when you think about it, especially when you think about like the mythology behind it and how the god Mercury, the messenger in commerce, and going to that like town center every day and going to that where people are trading and bringing their goods to exchange. This is very Mercury energy in that how there's like people stealing and tricksters trying to get over, trying to outwit. This is all Mercury's domain. Mercury is sarcasm. If you know a Gemini, they can be really sarcastic and really witty with their words as well. So this is the energy that is coming to the sign of Libra. And so when you think about Libra and you think about, okay, I'm taking all this information into the sign that is all about balance and harmony and peace, partnerships, contracts, fairness. It the thing about it is Libra is an air sign, and really with all the air signs, but Libra specifically, it can really see both sides of all the information that it's receiving. This is what we're getting with Mercury and Leo. We're in Libra. We're really seeing that, oh, I see how this could work, or I see how this could benefit, or I see how both of these could be bad. Like, and it's definitely difficult for Libras to make decisions, quite honestly, unless with a partner. They do very well in partnerships, they do very well in social gatherings, but this can actually be difficult when it comes to making decisions, because Libra is taking in everybody else's words as well. And so really, and then Venus is home in Libra. So this can be things that have to do with money, have to do with beauty, of course, have to do relationships, partnerships, contracts. These are all Libra's domain. So we may find ourselves really needing to make decisions, maybe even needing to have conversations that are bringing about a fairness or a balance. Because one thing I tend to tell some of my Libra clients, and of course it's more specific to your individual chart, and where you have Libra in your chart is where you're going to feel this energy the most. Now, if you want to know exactly how this is going to play out for you based on your sun, moon, and rising, you have got to join me on Patreon. I have tiers there. With the Keep Me Up tier, you get a weekly update for all 12 signs, so you can stay up to date. But what I was saying is that, so go to Patreon. But what I was saying is that with Libra, with this sign and wherever Libra is in your chart and wherever this energy is playing out, you can very well find yourself having to have conversations, having to speak up, having to weigh information that has to do relationships and partnerships. And this is not going to be easy. One of the things I tell my clients that have certain Libra placements is that Libra is a sign. I remember so specifically one time telling a client, I was like, they call Libras lying Libras. And the reason they tend to have that reputation is because Libra, if everything is fine, they want to keep everything fine. And if that means like sliding in a little lie right here, they'll tell you that. And I remember telling, this is when I first started studying astrology, one of my coworkers that, and she goes, oh my God, that's true. Because when my husband asked me, did I go shopping? I always say, no. And the whole time she's shaking her head, yes, right? The thing about this is, Libras, is I know that you want to keep everything really balanced and really good and really cool and really peaceful. But if you don't have inner peace, and if this really doesn't resonate with you and the information that you process within yourself, then you truly don't have peace, which is ultimately what Libra is looking for. So I say all that to say, specifically those with heavy Libra energy and air energy in general, we do have a lot going on in the air signs. The North Node in Gemini, we have Saturn and Jupiter retrograde in Aquarius. We just had that Aquarius full moon, and now we have Venus and Mercury in Libra. These are all air signs that are getting this energy, this information. And all the air signs are about the dualities or about both parts. So the way we can really tap into this and not find ourselves going along with other people's beliefs, not find ourselves not able to make a decision, because that's another thing that Libra energy and this with Mercury and Libra can deal with is like, what are they fight, flight, or freeze? Like literally not being able to make a decision, not being able to move forward. This is not okay. Now, there are times when you don't want to move forward. So once we get to the retrograde, let's pause for a second. But right now, we still have Virgo energy. So this is really good. Virgo energy says, make a list, set it out like And with Mars in Virgo and the Sun in Virgo, this is also saying make sure that whatever it is that you do, whatever action that you're going to take, because Mars wants to take action, Mars wants to do things, but Mars is in Virgo. Mars likes being in Virgo. This is an earth sign. So Mars is saying, let's make sure that not only is this action that you're taking practical, Virgo, earth sign, but this is also something that we can fit into our daily routines, Virgo, earth sign, that can contribute to our overall health and wellness, Virgo, earth sign, because Virgo does also rule our health and wellness. Remember, people, the Roman god, they were going to get their fruits and their herbs, and they were going to get speak to their medicine men and these kind of things that were happening in the town square on a daily basis. So these things that you're doing on a daily basis, make sure that whatever decision you're having to make, whatever balance needs to be brought back into your life, absolutely is going to be able to be worked out in your daily routine, contribute to your daily routine, bring value, because Venus is in Libra. And now with Venus in Libra, this can also mean that money's going to be involved, partnership's going to be involved. You need to make a list. You really need to weigh this out. That's what Virgo wants to do, pros and cons. That's what Mercury wants to do, a pros and cons list. So this is really good energy to work it out with a list. Make sure that this is something that doesn't invite crap back into your house, specifically if you've been detoxing, cleaning out, letting go, cleaning out your phone. Like, don't let it add any unhealthy, hygienic, wellness contribution. Don't let it come back in. Don't let it come back in your house. Don't let it come back in your phone, your emails, your body. So I don't know about you guys, but I am on day 4 of a detox and feeling great. I've cleaned out so many drawers and cabinets in my house. Like, things are happening and I'm feeling really good about it. Don't allow things to come back in. So if you have to make a decision, a money decision, a relationship decision, a contract decision, until Mercury goes retrograde, put a list together. Okay? I know I've said this. Put a list together and make sure that in that list that it also fits into the category of this contributes to my health and wellness. I can work this out in my daily routines. This can either add towards my business or add towards my body, my health and wellness. This doesn't bring any extra crap back into my house or to my body or into my thinking or into my feed. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I think that's about it. If you guys have any questions or you want further, I have to encourage you to come to Patreon. I'm so excited. However you got this video, tap the link in my bio, tap the link in the email. Check out my website, missastrologypresents.com, MS Astrology Presents. On Patreon, I'm going to have a week ahead forecast for all 12 signs. So on Saturday mornings, I'm going to upload this. And then I'm going to run through all 12 signs. Not just this, but I'm going to go with the week ahead. We're going to talk about everything. We're going to pull out the tarot cards. So you'll have a general read. Plus, I'll read for all 12 signs. So you know your rising, you know your sun and moon. You'll get more specific insight based on where this energy is playing out. Because remember, we all have Libra in our chart. We may not have any personal planets there, but we have a house that this is playing out in. And we have planets that this is aspecting or affecting. And so that'll be every Saturday. And that's tier 1. That's keep me up to date. Tier 2, beam me up. You'll get all of that. That's the weekly. Plus, we're going to do the live moon manifestation. I'm so excited. Plus, I'm going to do at least once a month astrology lessons. So I already have a couple lessons uploaded. And I also am really excited to do a lesson all about Mercury. That's going to be the next one that I upload. And that'll be ready for the official Patreon launch on September 4th. Beyonce's birthday. I figure if I'm going to set it on a date, why not set it on a date of a great, right? Because Beyonce's great. And then I'll have the all the way up tier. And this is where you're going to get everything from Keep Me Up, Beam Me Up. And then you'll get a once a month live one-on-one with me, basically a reading, a 50-minute session, but we're going to cover whatever you want. So check out my Patreon, make a to-do list when it comes to decisions. Make sure you keep the core of yourself. And this is another thing I want to say. I love that Libra is right before Scorpio. So when you think about how intuitive Scorpio is, you think about the fact that Libra's going to have some intuition. Shit, it comes right before Scorpio. Libra, when you're taking in information, you're intuitively understanding. You're intuitively knowing. But then you go into this space of, oh, what about this? Oh, what about that? Oh, I see this side, I do that. And then you either freeze or you take on somebody else's opinion. And these are things that we really are going to have to be mindful of, be aware of, and to make the best use of this energy is, again, tap into Virgo energy while we're still there. Mars and the sun are still in Virgo. So we still have that energy that's saying, no, no, no. Let me make a to-do list. Maybe let me make a pros and cons list. Let me see how this works out into my daily routines. Let me see if this continues to contribute to my overall health and wellness. And if it fits into those categories, then I do say go for it. I do think it could take money, and I do think it could take partnerships, but as long as it's fitting into your daily routines, either promoting work or promoting health and wellness, this will really be good for you. So, okay, I'm going to stop there. I hope this is helpful. Happy Mercury in Libra, and I'll be back, of course, with another video before Mercury goes retrograde. Until next time, peace.